Now, my whole philosophy with the backpack is the tools you have in here, you shouldn't notice that you actually have in here. The reason why I say that is the main purpose of your work bag is to get your lunch and any of your work stuff to and from work. The extra stuff that you carry in here should not impact you whatsoever. So you'll notice if I open this guy up, I don't have anything in the main cavity, so I can open this, give it a shake, and nothing's gonna fall out. And that's because all of the tools that I have in here, which by the way is a full 24-hour survival kit that's actually pretty legit, none of them are going to actually pop out. Nothing's gonna fall out, and I still have the whole main cavity devoted just to my actual everyday needs, the reason why I actually carry a backpack. Let's get into the actual survival kit of this bag that, as you can see, it's taken up literally no room at all. Right, first starting off on the outside, my EDC is a Grail titanium water bottle. The Grail, pull it apart. Your bottom part is how you scoop the water. Like so. Place it down, open the cap on the top, and just push it down. And guys, in like, I don't know, 5 more seconds, we're gonna have actual drinkable water from one of the most nasty, polluted cities, rivers in the entire country. This is the North Saskatchewan River going through Edmonton. It's nasty. All right, and just like that, water comes out, and you can drink it, no problem at all. The reason why I EDC a Grail titanium water bottle is, one, they're very aesthetically pleasing, but also because I can filter water anywhere in the world with this. So if my car breaks down and I'm next to a nasty slough, well, guess what? I have the ability to still have fresh drinking water, maybe not fresh. I'm also able with this guy to pull this bottom off and boil water if my cartridge gets messed up. Like let's say it's really silty water or something like that. So 2 different ways of purifying water, plus it's aesthetically pleasing, and it's actually just a pretty good overall everyday water bottle. Put that there, actually get that off here. Then we'll move into the EDC pouch, which is just a little front pouch on the front of my bag. And there is a surprising amount of tools in here. It's crazy the stuff you can actually carry with you, and it takes up almost no room. So starting it off inside, one thing I really like about this backpack, this is like a SOG backpack. One thing I really like about this guy is these inner, like, instead of wasting space for storage, they have these like inner mesh pockets on the inside of every flap. It's super handy. So on the first mesh flap, I'll just pull the stuff out of here. Oh, because I'm in my 30s, guys, I have 2 different forms of antacid. We got Tums and Alka-Seltzer, and that's just the reality of getting old and not taking care of yourself as much as you should have. Outside of that, we have 2 fire starters just in case I ever have to make a fire. You guys got to remember, 90% of my life is traveling. Well, no, that's an exaggeration, but a lot of my life is spent traveling from the woods to the city, from the city to the woods, from the city to way up north to my job. Hours and hours and hours spent driving to and from the woods. So the idea of having to maybe one day make a fire isn't that unrealistic. Next, I always keep one of these Uberleben Zunda ferro rods. These things are, well, Uberleben makes the best ferro rods, like they just do. It's not even really comparable. Their soft steel on these is super, 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 super sparky. Like literally some of the best ferro rods that you can see. Like that's actually crazy. It's pretty smoky in here. So an Uberleben Zunda. Small, compact, and I know for absolutely certain I could get a fire going with it. Up next, I have a Leatherman Arc. Leatherman Arc's the best Leatherman that there is. Not up for debate. Although if you think there's a better Leatherman, let me know. I'm a big fan of this guy though, and I keep that either. Honestly, I switch my EDC in my pocket between a knife and a multi-tool all the time. A lot of the times I actually will carry the Leatherman because it does have that Magna Cut blade, which is pretty legit. Coming in past that, I have a pen and I have a Sharpie. Now, just in everyday life, like this doesn't have to be an emergency. Having a pen on you is super handy. And in an emergency, a Sharpie's kind of handy because if your vehicle ever breaks down, like in Canada where I live, especially in the area that I live and travel to, getting stranded in the wintertime can be a death sentence. And so to help with emergency services, if you ever have to leave your vehicle, let's say to go somewhere to make a fire because your vehicle's dead, having a Sharpie to write the direction that you went right onto your vehicle is super, super, super handy. It's a pretty good point for winter survival, actually. Should keep one of those on you. Outside of that, I got a protein bar. I mean, guys, food, having a snack on you at all times doesn't hurt. We got a bottle of hand sanitizer. Now, the thing about hand sanitizer that's super handy is hand sanitizer is literally a really good fire starter. And when you're dealing with like the general public, a lot of people are pretty gross, and I don't really like to touch handles that they've touched. I'm kind of weird that way. And yes, I carry a lighter. Everyone should carry a lighter. Throw it in there, forget about it. I don't find I go for it as much as I go for ferro rods, but that's also just because I enjoy ferro rods more. I also keep a 20,000 milliamp carbon fiber power bank on me. Like I was saying earlier, you could have all the electronics in the world, but if they're dead, they're not going to help you. I really like these Nitecore 20,000 milliamp power banks. I have noticed, I'll just be honest, like they don't last as long as some other 20,000 milliamp power banks. It's just like the anchors, for whatever reason, seem to last longer, which hurts my heart because I really like these because they're very lightweight. And you still get 5 or 6 charges of your phone out of one of these, but like the anchor, you'll get 6 or 7. So, but I do prefer to go with these because they are lighter weight. And if it's an everyday carry, I carry more about not noticing it than I carry about it's you know, between 1 or 1.5 charges on my phone. You know what I mean? Up next, in this little bag here, well, this is actually 10 feet of painter's drop cloth, which is a clear plastic bag like poly. And inside of that, I have an emergency blanket. Now, I've shown before many times about how to make the Morse Kohansky super shelter, but if my vehicle ever broke down in winter with this little bag set up here, which is really hard to get back together, so I don't take it out very often, with this little bag, I can create a shelter that is good for -50, and I'll show that again. I'll put an overlay on the screen for that. From then, we'll be able to actually set up a reflector. The reflectors are the key part of this Morse Kohansky super shelter. Essentially, the way it works is I'm going to have my Mylar sheet at my back, and I'm going to wrap the entire shelter in poly sheeting. Then I have a small fire out in front. That heat is going to go through the poly sheeting, hit the fire reflector, and reflect down on me. I'll show you a little bit later. But so now check this out. Look at the temperature we have inside this shelter right now. Inside of this shelter, it's plus 50 degrees Celsius, which is 120 degrees Fahrenheit. The last time I did it, it gets insanely hot in there. Outside of that, I have a flashlight. The one thing that's kind of cool about this UCO flashlight is on the back, for redundancy, I don't know if you can see that or not, but there's actually a little lighter on the back. And it's all rechargeable, which the one thing I didn't show earlier was this little cable here, which is a really cool magnetic cable from Nitecore that takes up no space and can charge stuff. Packs down super small, never noticed you even have it on you, and it charges up all my devices, my phone, power bank, all that stuff. I keep about 25, no, this one's 40 feet of paracord on me. You know, it's funny, you always see guys carry like, just like 8, 10, 15 feet of paracord. Anytime I've ever went to the woods, I find that if the more paracord I have, the more paracord that I actually use. So I'd imagine in a survival situation, carrying more, I would use more, you know what I mean? So why not just give myself a pretty decent amount? Last but not least, in my everyday carry bag, I actually keep a Reef Knives F3. This is a super dependable knife. It's super lightweight. You won't even notice you have it on you. It's also orange because in a survival situation, you never want to lose your knife. And well, let's be honest, you're not going to lose that. That's very color coded. It's in Kydex, clips in, really good, solid, dependable knife. So in that little bit of stuff that we've seen, that you couldn't even tell there was that much gear in my bag, we've covered food, water, shelter, and fire. all your basic needs for 24 hours, even in a -50 situation. So it's pretty crazy what you can plus your gear up with if you know what you're doing and how to do these things.